Órale.
Hi.
Poquito te traigo estas flores, Freddy Martínez.
Te traigo estas flores.
Puros corpitos.
Por la mañana
Sparkling City by the Sea.
de amor. De este corazón.
Hablando de corpitos, aquí tenemos a Luis Buentello, running for District 34. Y viene de corpitos. ¿Nos traíste unas flores o no? No. ¿Y qué pasó ahí? Sí.
They're on its way. They're on its way.
Yeah. How you doing, Luis? Welcome to the show.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me here. I'm doing great.
Qué bueno, nos da buen gusto hasta que estás aquí con nosotros.
Gracias. Muy amable.
Corpitos, Texas. How long you been in Corpus, brother?
I've been there 13 years and 18 days.
Porque I was looking at your bio and all that. Originally, naciste en México, ¿verdad?
Ciudad Victoria, Tamaulipas. Así
¿Y en qué año fue esa?
71.
71. Estás chavalo. You look good for your age, by the way.
You too, bro.
Thank you.
You too, man. Honestly, I was telling you, you don't look over 50 and like, wow.
Pues Chiva, I'm not only, ¿cómo se dice? I'm not only a member, I'm also the president. ¿No? ¿Qué dice?
Yeah.
El Just for Men.
Yes. Yes.
No me sale ninguna cana, Luis. Fíjate.
You're so
Andamos
lucky.
igual.
No te creas.
Andamos
A
igual.
él tampoco.
No, a ti tampoco. No te pintas el pelo, Luis. Oye, wow, man.
Great
Para
genes.
nada.
Necesito un blood transfusion. Yo que me pase un poquito de sangre. You
Órale.
know, my daughter, she won some money at a casino. She won like $13,000, a while back.
Ajá.
And she said, Dad, I got so scared. Why? Because they all started touching me. Because tócala, tienes suerte, tócala. La gente, la raza, no. ¿Cómo la ves? Bien, ¿cómo se dice? Superstitious. That's it.
Yeah. Superstitious.
Yeah. So Victoria, man. Wow, 71.
Mm-hmm.
And your parents, what were they doing in Ciudad Victoria when you were born?
My dad owned ranches. He was a farmer, and my mom stayed home to take care of us, and that's what he did.
Así era, ¿verdad? Familias.
Yeah, I'm the youngest of 6.
El padre jalando y la mamá.
Eso. Él se levantaba a las 5 de la mañana todos los días y al rancho.
Work ethic, bro.
Oh yeah,
I
every
mean,
single day.
That's how
He
it's
would
instilled.
He would go to the ranch. By the time he got there, the guy already had the big bottle of milk. Y todo bien, ok. Más tarde regreso. Se regresaba a la casa con ese bote grande de leche.
Sí.
Y órale.
¿Y eres tú el único chaval?
Hombre, somos 6.
Son 6.
So I'm a twin.
Ajá.
We're the last 2 from my dad.
Wow.
Yeah, he was married 3 times
¿Y tu cuate dónde anda?
en México, en Ciudad
Sí,
Victoria.
se quedó allá. Tú eres el único que te viniste. ¿Tus padres se movieron para acá?
No, ellos están allá. I came as a foreign student.
Oh, you came as a foreign student.
Yes.
¿Y a qué escuela fuiste aquí?
I went to Valley Baptist Academy
Ahí en Harlingen.
in Harlingen.
Fíjate. Yo fui a la escuela en Harlingen.
Oh, really? Where?
Sí, Cardinal.
Cardinal.
Back when I went, they had a smoking area for students.
Really? No,
Yeah.
we have nothing of
And
that.
they had you could go in shorts and chanclas and a muscle shirt to school.
Oh, no, we have a uniform over here.
Sí, acá te dan bien estrictos allá. Acá no metamos porque te la frega.
You had to shave,
Ajá.
blue slacks, white shirt every single day.
Discipline.
No
Structure.
You couldn't hold hands with a girlfriend or anything like that.
No.
Oh man, they will separate you 6 weeks.
No, hombre, acá en Harlingen High estaban pichoneando en los hallways y la chingada. No, hombre, cállate. No había
There was
ley.
nothing like that, man.
Cuando llegué, pues the reason I went to Harlingen High is because they kicked me out of Mission High. And the reason I was in Mission High is because they kicked me out of Mercedes High.
What happened? I wonder why.
Pues, che, es que,
You don't have to say it.
My wife says I'm ADHD, Dad. You know, es lo que dice.
Yeah.
And she's an educator, so yeah,
really?
she knows. Yeah, she's an educator administrator.
There you
So
go.
llega aquí bien patrona conmigo, no me cállate. ¿Dónde están las vasijas? ¿Están limpias o no? Ay, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. No, but yeah. So you came as a foreign. So you came by yourself or
with my twin brother.
your twin brother?
Yes.
Órale.
Yeah, yes, estuvimos. I was in Harlingen 4 years. My first year was CSL,
¿Qué es eso?
English as a second language.
Órale.
And then I went sophomore, junior, senior. After that, I'm a senior 90.
Okay.
And then I went to A&I in
Órale.
Kingsville for a year.
Sí.
And at that time, my dad had a stroke and para atrás las tropas.
Sí.
Mamá nos habló, hey, el rancho,
So
I need help.
So tus parents se quedaron. And how were you able to get into that foreign exchange student stuff? Did you apply? And
No, it's not foreign exchange.
Or what
student.
was it?
No, it's just a foreign student.
Foreign student.
Yeah,
And how can somebody go about that? Like when they're living in Mexico like that.
So I think the process you have to apply for a F1 visa. That's a student visa.
Okay.
F1, and you go through the process and you gotta show. I think you gotta show some solvency from the parents that they're able to support you in the States. So you don't be a burden to anybody, to the government, and you go through the process. You need a letter of admittance from the school that you're gonna be.
Yeah.
So at the time, I think it was like, man, this is 1986. It was like, I don't know if it was 2,500 to 5,000 a year.
And you were about 15 years old?
14. I turned 15 when I was here.
Were your parents the ones that initiated this, or was it you that did it?
No, they did. My dad was married 3 times.
Okay.
So the first family, he had 2 of his kids from that first family, the first wife, that went to that school when he was in Brownsville.
Okay.
In fact, 2 of my teachers, one of them was a teacher at the time when my brothers were there, and the other one, she was a student when they were there. And so when I came to school, Buentello,
Yeah, te conocía.
they said, "Do you know this and this?" Like, "Oh yeah, my brother and sister." Oh, I had no idea. So because of that, my dad knew about that school. I need you guys to learn English.
Yeah.
I didn't want to. I'm like, no, I'm not asking you.
Why
telling
was
you.
it that you didn't want to?
I don't know. I just like, it's not in me to do that.
You were comfortable, in Español,
yeah. Español.
Sí.
I wanted to do other things. I wanted to go to, in Mexico, there's a military school, Heroico Colegio Militar.
Okay.
And I wanted to go there. And I had a conversation with a friend of mine who he went to that one. And we were supposed to go together.
Sí.
And when it came about that, my dad said, no, you're going to the U.S. No, I don't want to. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. Se acabó.
He had the long-term vision.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Big time.
Wow.
Big time.
That's interesting. So then when the process happened, what he took you to an office because there were no internet where you apply or nothing like that, right?
No, you had to go. I think first you have to go to the U.S. consulate in Matamoros,
okay,
or the one in Mecca. We went to the one in Matamoros to get your F1 visa, and then when you cross the port of entry, they send you back in and they stamp it or something. I was 14. I have no idea, and then that's it. But there's a lot of paperwork involved with that.
How long did that process take?
Unknown. I'm not gonna be. I don't even want to speculate.
Like from the moment your father and you all signed those papers and all that, how long was it till you were able to come to school?
Oh no! By the time they signed the papers, you're able to.
You're in. Right?
Yeah. Yes.
So that was pretty immediate.
Kind of. Yes. I think things have changed when it comes to process times.
Things back then were a lot easier to process.
Yes. Now it's a process and everything is online. And depending what type of visa you're requesting, so there's a lot of things.
Has making it online kind of made a big backlog of stuff like that, or because now it's so easy to do and it doesn't take that extra effort of going somewhere to do it at a building, because that
big lines outside, spending all day waiting for your turn.
So this is as easy as just to turn on the internet and do it, and then
I think way
1,000 people can do it in an hour. So it kind of like there might be a backlog on that, right?
Probably. And the way it is now, to my understanding, you apply for visa online, and if you are let's say you live in Mexico, I want a U.S. visa to come to the States. You apply online, and then they send you an email. Okay, your interview is this day at this time. That's it. So it's a lot easier. You don't have to wait online. You just show up close to the time that you're supposed to be there. And I think that the U.S. consulate in Matamoros or any consulate, you're not allowed to bring anything. Don't bring your phone. Don't bring nothing, because just the documents that you need.
Yeah.
But
and be there prompt, right?
Oh, yes. And I think they set up a different schedule for you to go do fingerprints first before you go to the interview. So you had to take care of the fingerprints. and pictures or something, and then you go to the interview, and sometimes there's 2 different dates. But it's a requirement before you go to the interview.
How detrimental was the Biden administration for the process? Because they had that app, right? That asylum app, and then they just had. I mean, they were overwhelmed at the border. It was. I mean,
Yeah, it was a huge mess.
Did it hurt
honestly.
a lot of people that want to do it legit,
Yes,
like you
definitely.
guys?
Definitely. And the thing what people do not understand, yeah, you can apply for asylum, but there's a way to do it. The right way to do it, you come to the port of entry. You don't cross the river to do that, because that's you're committing a crime. Even though it's a misdemeanor the first time, and some people don't understand that the first time is just a misdemeanor. If you re-enter again, that's a felony now.
Yeah.
That some people do not understand that. You got caught the first time, it's a misdemeanor. It goes on your record, but that's it. Second time, it's a felony. And but yeah, it just
overwhelmed.
It overwhelmed the system.
Everything was
definitely.
overwhelmed.
So I remember I was with Congressman Cloud at the time when all of that happened, and we had meetings here in Sector and Border Patrol with who was the chief at the time? Padilla. He was the chief, and the second in command was Raul Ortiz, who eventually became Border Patrol, the chief of Border Patrol, Raul Ortiz. And he took us around and showed us crossing points, everything. And yeah, it just overwhelmed the system, And he was telling us, those that are crossing, they're hunting us. They're coming to us. Where we don't have to go look for anybody. They come to us because they want asylum.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they don't know that that's the wrong way to do it.
So then you were in Harlingen. You graduated from the Baptist
Valley
school,
Baptist.
the Valley Baptist School, and then you decided to go to Texas A&I in Kingsville, was it?
A&I, 1 year.
How did it go there? 1 year, no más?
Yes, because my dad had a stroke, so
Okay.
para atrás las tropas. Vámonos.
And then when you came back to your hometown, what happened? I mean, how long were you there?
I was several years there. My dad, he became sick and he had a stroke, and we were many, many years over there. Just helping
And this
my
was
mom.
from what year to what year? Was this 85, 80?
Oh, no,
88?
this is after the 90s.
Okay.
This is after the 90s.
90 through 95, something like that?
Something like that. Yeah, it's been a while. And I would come visit friends from the school because they all were from the Valley or from Harlingen or Brownsville, McAllen. Come back and forth, just visiting with friends and family.
Yeah. And so did you ever return to college or?
I went back to college. We were married, and I came back to college. Man, I was 37 when I had to start all over again. Wow. It had been so long.
And most people won't even attempt it at that age. They're like, it's too late.
Oh, yeah,
I mean, you really have to have,
a desire to do
desire
something.
to,
No, trust me, yes. Because I've known friends like, oh no, I'm too old for that. Like, no, you're never old. So you're never old to learn.
Yeah.
You have
And so, so you were already married. We have Luis's wife in the background here.
Oh,
She's got a
yes.
microphone. We didn't put a camera on her, but she's here with us. How you want to say hi to everybody?
Hello, I'm right here.
And what is your name?
Dion.
Dion. Okay, so you met Dion where in Mexico?
No,
or?
I met her in Brownsville
In Brownsville.
at church.
I see. And what year was that?
Uh-oh.
Ah,
Better
he
get
better
this right.
remember.
He better get this right.
He's actually the one good with dates. I'm the one that
It
forgets.
was August 10, 2003.
At 2:15 p.m.
No, he
was-
knows. He's a little
was-
Rain Man-ish.
Yeah.
It's a Rain Man moment, I call it. It was closer to 3:34.
I
love that.
era la tarde.
It was a Sunday coming back from a retreat.
So you were in Brownsville, you met your wife, you got married, and you decided to go back to school at the age of 37, you said, right?
37.
And you what school did you go to?
UTB.
UTB, University of Texas, Brownsville. Ahí cerquitas, ahí in Brownsville.
Ahí vivíamos.
And what were you taking in college?
I began with a government degree, and then eventually I was able to. I talked to advising or something like that, academic advising. And I said, can I do a double major in communications and government and communications? I said, yes. So I have a good friend of mine who we did the same thing, same degree, government and communications, double major. And I went through the process, but then I had to stop when I got an internship in Congress in 2010. So I spent a semester out. I was in DC from August 27th through November 20th of 2010. That's when Blake Farenthold ran and beat Solomon Ortiz.
Órale. What attracted you to DC, bro?
I don't know. I've always been interested in government, international affairs as well. Always had a passion for service.
See.
Always, I don't know, I love serving people and making a difference in people's lives. When I came to the States, I fell in love with the military here in the U.S. Like, man, I like to be a Navy SEAL or an Army Ranger, something like that. That was always a thing.
Yeah.
The military for me. And, the Lord has his plans. That I was a foreign student and I couldn't do anything. You had to be a legal resident in order to apply.
And to serve? Of course,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. You couldn't do anything on that. And but then after becoming a resident and all of that, I went to the recruiter station. I was 39. And this is 2009 when I became a resident. And
you still gave it a shot.
I went, and they told me, man, we just brought the age back to 36 3 months ago, bro. You're out. They were already downsizing from Iraq War, and they wanted people out. And I'm like, dang it. So, didn't happen. So soon after I got that internship in Congress, came back and started working for Congressman Blake Farenthold at the time.
When you went as an intern to Congress, what was what did you learn about the city that you had never known? You know what I mean? Because
I love its history, man. And in terms of public service, I always liked the military. I always man, I like to be an FBI agent, or I like to be a Secret Service agent, or a CIA officer, things like that. Sometimes I just go by that White House. After hours, you'll sit down, or Saturday, and just watch Secret Service go back and forth. Oh, and there goes the president. And then I would see a vehicle. I don't want to say what type of vehicle or where on one of the avenues. And I said, okay, the president is flying in a helicopter because that vehicle is right there. I was able to spot that. And sure enough, there come the helicopters.
Wow.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
I bet that's pretty freaking amazing to just be there.
Yeah.
And so you were an intern in DC. How did you end up in Corpus, or when did that happen?
So when I came back to Brownsville. I spent 3 months away from my wife. We didn't have any kids at the time. And when I came back, one of my friend that I mentioned that we were in school together, he helped Blake Farenthold in the campaign here in Cameron County. And he called me when I was already back, and he said, hey, I heard you're back from DC. How was it? It was great. And then he said, hey, do you want a job? Sure. Okay, you have one coming up the new year. Once Blake gets sworn in, you have a job. That's it. So that's how I started working for Blake.
See,
who you know.
What were your duties working for Blake?
I started at first as a caseworker, and what that means, people have issues with different federal agencies, and they come and asking for help. Hey, I applied for VA benefits. I'm having a hard time, or I haven't gotten any response. Okay, you're that middle person between help cutting that red tape.
Yeah.
So I did that for 2 years. Then I got promoted to be a field rep. And by the time Blake Farenthold left or resigned office, I was district director. That was the position that I had by the time Blake left office.
And now you're running for 34th district.
Yeah, and I'm the only candidate who has done that in the past. Who knows how
that experience?
I worked 12 years, almost 12 years, because I started January the 5th with Blake, and I left that's January 5th, 2011, and I left on December 16, 2022. So almost 12 years. So, and that's the thing, there's a limit of how much staff you can have in the House. Senate doesn't have that problem. The House, you have a limit of how many people you can hire, and then how many part-timers or shared staff you can have. There's up to 4 part-timers that you can have only.
See. Ladies and gentlemen, Luis Buentello is running for District 34 here in Texas. electluis.com is the website. You can go there. We've got some images of it. Faith, family, freedom, fighting for the future of South Texas and defending freedom. If you want to donate to his campaign, go to his website, find out more about him. From Corpus Christi to Brownsville, Luis Buentello is running to defend faith, freedom, and the American dream for every Texan family. Absolutely, he's an American dream himself.
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen. So get involved, donate today. He knows what it takes to be in Congress, since you've been part of, as a liaison, as a intern. So this is always, I guess you've been preparing yourself for this moment, ¿no, Luis?
Definitely. Como hay un dicho en español que dice, no vives en vano. O sea, your experiences matter because it prepares you for something. And I remember that the time when Blake got elected, we came from an office it was with Solomon Ortiz. He was there 28 years. So, and it was a change in party in the district. So you came to an office that there was computers, there was everything, but there was no hard drives, there was nothing. Because by law, you have to clean all of that. You cannot leave anything behind. You cannot leave any records. So you start from scratch. And it took us about over a month before we could have computers. So it's a challenge to start to jump in. And but when you already know what is expected, because we didn't know what to do, how to do it, because we never done it. But so that's why the experience matters a lot, because when you come back, if I get elected, that's God's deciding on that. If I get elected, I know what is expected to do, what needs to be done, how to do it, and I could have that ready day one.
In that district, it's the coastal bend.
Yes.
I mean, it's growing so much, especially
goodness.
Brownsville. Got Elon Musk came, and there's a lot of growth going on, right?
Yes. Oh yeah, it's impressive what's happening in Brownsville area. When I left, there was really not much going on. But even the whole valley has changed. Even McAllen, Edinburgh area. I saw Top Golf. I'm like, whoa, what happened here? And Maseratis and all these dealerships. But Brownsville is growing a lot. SpaceX, man, they made a big impact in the region. And we were there. I took Congressman Cloud there when he got elected. And we took him back again in October 2nd, 2022. And we had a great visit with SpaceX that day.
Yeah. What are your top priorities for District 34? What are your thoughts of what should be dealt with first? As soon as if you win and you get in there, because you've got the primary to go through.
Yes.
And once if you overcome your primary opponents, then you go into the general election.
Yes.
And that's in November. And if you get past that and you win, what would be your top 3 priorities for the district?
So there's a lot of priorities, but one of the first things, even before being elected, that I am very passionate about, we have allowed that our politics have become so nasty, so toxic. Every single campaign you see out there, they're always talking so negative about their opponents, and that's what it became now. And I'm running with a different idea. I haven't bashed any of my opponents because there's no need to do that. Even I got a call from one of my opponents like, "Hey, we noticed that you don't attack anybody on Facebook or social media. Why? I don't have to. First of all, that's not my character. I don't have to put you guys down to make myself look good. That's not the point." And what happens with that, it has gotten so nasty that there will be great people out there that could be great members of Congress. They just don't want to get through.
They're afraid.
They don't want to. Why would I expose my family and myself to go through all of that nastiness? And so who loses? America loses.
Do you think the media has a lot to do with that?
Of course. They just want clicks. And that, honestly, that needs to stop.
It's destroying.
It's destroying. It's destroying.
It's destructive.
It is. There's nothing good coming out of that. So that's something I like to change in the political dynamic in our country.
But we'd have to change media, and if you try to change media, then you're being authoritarian, or whatever.
No, I think.
I mean, look at what happened with Don Lemon. He got, he was wrong going into that.
Yes.
If you ask me.
So when it comes to the media, this is the thing about the media. Media's job is to report news.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to make news.
Factually.
Yes. So it's report the news as it is. Don't put twists, don't put spins, report. Don't make news. And there became a making news business now. Mm-hmm. And that's not their job.
They call it the free press, but no, it's a profit. and right now,
and both sides are the same.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, both sides are the same.
And they're struggling to stay alive with ratings on network television because many people are moving from the network. I mean, yo casi ni veo televisión, nomás las local news, carnal, es todo lo que veo.
Don't. And if you remember when President Trump first ran in 2016, the media hated him in some ways. So he pushed all his agenda through his own tweets.
Yeah.
Because the media was not going to give him the time to do so.
Yep.
So he did it on his own.
He had 80 million followers on Twitter back then. Mm-hmm. But then there was issues with Twitter as well, with the banning and the censoring and
that's a big issue.
The throttling, and then a lot of those tweets have come back to bite politicians in the ass.
Oh yes.
Where they're supporting, ICE during Obama, and now they're not. And then you were when he was. Why not now? And there's but a lot of the news companies won't touch that stuff. They won't let you know. What they do is they lie by omission.
Of course.
They don't. They're only going to give you the negative stuff and not give you any of the positive stuff. And I think it's going to get a lot worse getting close to midterms.
And I think I remember that now that you mentioned all of that, you brought me back when AOC came to the border, and all these people are in cages. And
she took a photo pic crying outside the fence.
And it was empty. and I've been to Ursula. One of them was Ursula back in the day. I went there with. I think it was prior to Cloud. I went there when I was with Blake, and we went inside. There's no cages. There's just fences because you gotta separate men from women, children from adults. You have to have those sections, because some people, you don't want to.
Something happens, and
olvídate, hombre. They blame the government. So, but if you put some fences around it, those are cages. They're not cages. They have family units, moms with their kids by themselves, and by males and females separate, certain ages together, elders together, to protect the people there. I want to take you back to the 90s. Remember that case with this Cuban kid that was in New York or something, and the ICE came to get him in the middle of the.
He was in Florida.
Or Florida,
and his dad was in Cuba, and he had the rights to the kid. That was during Bill Clinton.
And everybody was in favor of that, but now it's a big issue.
Yeah.
They had no problem back then.
Yeah, I think it's all about just be against Trump. It's just Trump. That's all they're fighting.
That's all it is.
They don't really care about everybody else or the collateral damage. They just want that guy to lose and die and it's
undermine him in every way possible.
Yeah, they want him to get, as they would say, Charlie Kirk, which is terrible, right? I mean, horrible. The most horrific thing ever.
Oh yeah, definitely, because that's a huge concern for me, because my goodness, we are not like that, not as a country. We don't silence people like that, because the question stays there. Who's next? Mm-hmm. If we can go down that route, who's next? And it could be on both sides.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that it should happen. No, not at all. It should not happen in America. But we got to be really careful how we behave moving forward, because we don't want that in our country, because it could be it can go downhill very quickly.
There's a lot
on both sides.
Yeah. There's a lot of people moving to Texas and Florida from blue states.
Yep.
I know Austin's a big town where Californian people and New York workers want to move. Do you see that changing the dynamics of the politics here in Texas, man? You know, because they come and they're leaving the destruction they're leaving, and then they want to come here, and if they vote
And do the same thing.
it's
over
like
there.
Arizona. I was telling my wife, you know, Arizona was like red, and then now it's purple, and now it's like kind of blue.
They
And
started moving.
because a lot of Californians, they don't come all the way to Texas. I had a padrino. My padrino lived in Palm Springs. Y se movió para la orilla de ahí de California y de Arizona, en este ladito, porque no,
That's it.
no podía vivir en aquel lado.
Taxes,
Estaba muy expensive y no quería estar muy lejos de sus nietos.
Familiares, así es.
So se movió nomás para este lado del Arizona-California border. And a lot of California people are doing that. A lot of people don't realize it, but that's what's happening over there.
And voting blue.
And bringing in, you know, Mark Kelly and people like that, you know. But so, ladies and gentlemen, electluis.com, Luis Buentello for District 34. Go to his website and help him out, man. This guy, he's been around and he's been part of the D.C. Area for a long time. And what do you think about that? All that ICE stuff going on in Minnesota? You know, it's really bad. The fraud.
Oh, yes. Oh, the fraud. Yeah. Well,
So, you know, when I was watching the news in L.A., they were like talking about. I told my friend, chinga, tanto dinero que están dando para los homeless, ¿y qué les dan? Una bolsita para que hagan sus drogas. Oye, ¿cómo lo va a ayudar a homelessness ese jale? ¿Cómo le va? ¿Y qué tanto cuesta una aguja? 10 centavos? 15 centavos?
Where's the rest going?
Yeah. They're I don't know, man. There needs to be some sort of
Fraud and abuse.
Did you agree with the Doge? That
I did, of course.
you know, Musk and his
yes.
team of super intelligent kids going in there.
Yes. So I hate the fraud because we're spending so much money on things that are really not worthless at all. You know, a lot of people complain, especially a lot of people on our side of the party, that foreign aid. Foreign aid, the way USAID did it is just like a lot of waste. But I do believe in foreign aid as long as it aligns with our national security and our interests abroad. That you have to have that. And a prime example is we were giving money to Kazakhstan. I think it was Kazakhstan. We were giving money to them. So when we had to send people to Afghanistan in 2001, that's where we took our planes. That's where we started getting our equipment first. And CIA flew from there into Afghanistan to start doing its job. But we have to have those partnerships, those commitments where we'll give you money, but we can use it as a leverage at some point if we need to.
Y necesitamos recibos.
Exactamente.
You know,
Claro que sí.
Some receipts. Okay, you paid for this, you paid for that. We need a.
In something that the U.S. is not doing or is doing in a way, it's sometimes when you pull out of some country, you create a vacuum. And someone's going to fill that space, that void that you leave behind. And I think that the U.S. has been doing that in Africa. You know, Africa has 54 countries. And from 2010 to 2016, China built 46 ports out of the 54 countries. And that's a huge concern for our mobility as a national security issue for us in terms of mobility. Because if we have to go at some point, go do something in Africa, where are we docking our ships? Chinese ports? They're not going to allow it. And people need to see that the importance of that. We started pulling out of Africa and China took over. Yeah. China is winning the hearts and minds of the African continent.
It's like the Panama Canal. We had to get it back.
Exactly.
China was taking over.
Exactly. And China is taking over in Mexico, in
Cuba,
in Cuba, in South America.
Venezuela, they were in there.
They've been selling arms to Colombia, Argentina.
And then the fentanyl in Mexico. I mean,
all of it comes
the
from
products.
China.
You know, a lot of people don't understand that. There's a big old global power.
China to me is the biggest concern out there. Because they pose a huge threat to our country. They're trying to undermine everything we do. Everywhere we're trying to do something, they're going to try to undermine it.
And besides that, they were supplying us with everything. I mean, like during COVID, I realized, man, If they didn't want to give us gas
can
tax,
cut the cord and that's it. We're
and
screwed.
We're done. And I think that's when Trump kind of said, okay, we need to build shit here.
Yes.
We need to do shit here. Because if we get into a war with China, we're losing. Because they'll cut off all the supplies of everything they make for us because we get it for pennies on the dollar, and who knows who else gets the money where, you know what I mean? So he started the tariffs. He started all that. I mean, that's what I saw in it.
I remember that, what's his name? John Kerry's wife, Senator Kerry's wife, Heinz. She was
They
married
own
to
the ketchup, ketchup corporation.
It's apparently it's built in China. They produce it in China. They move their operations to China, so it's cheaper. It's cheaper labor, more profits for them.
Well, I just read an article that GM's bringing in. They're closing a plant in China and they're moving it to the United States. You know, so I'm starting to see it's going to take time. It doesn't take, but we still,
takes time.
But we all need to stick together. I mean, both parties need to go because
we need to look after the interests of our country.
All of us.
Period.
Yeah. And there's common sense. They're smart and not like the guy that it's been found that the guy that is financing all those organizations that are causing a bunch of trouble in Minnesota is living in Shanghai, China. His last name is Singham. He's a Connecticut tech billionaire, and he's living in Shanghai, China. And they figured it out. I follow a couple of journalists that are very good and incredible, and they've been in the business for over 50 years. So he exposed that guy. So he's funneling lots of money through these NGOs.
Yeah, it does say here that he's an American tech billionaire who now resides in Shanghai.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, electluis.com, Luis Buentello for District 34. And the early voting starts February 21st, right?
No,
or 17th? February 17th. And then March 3rd, I think, is the election. Okay, so the best thing is to vote early, okay? That's so you don't have to wait in lines on the day. And that way you don't say, oh, man, I should have voted for so-and-so in case your favorite candidate didn't win. Maybe it's that vote that you didn't put, and it means a lot. And it's your duty to do it.
If they're not registered to vote, they need to register before Tuesday.
Luis, what are your thoughts on President Trump?
In terms of what?
His overall job performance and what he could do better.
Oof. I think he's doing good things and great things for our country, looking after our interests of America first, which is extremely important. I think he's executing well. Perfectly? No. He's just a human being as any of us. And can he do things better? Probably so. I think one of the things that I can say about him that I think he needs to improve is how he speaks about things.
His style?
Yes. Don't be in so much in your face. Don't try to, you had a win. Don't keep rubbing it and sticking it.
But that's just him.
But that's him. But I don't know. That just come on, just have honor. Like, oh man, okay, I won, but that's it. Let it go.
I don't think he can be fake, man.
I told you I was gonna do it. Like,
yeah,
don't go to that extreme.
No, I know. I see.
Be respectful of that. Of those who lost. But oh man, he's But in terms of his presidency, I think he's doing what he's supposed to do. In a very
the tariffs. He's got the tariffs. He's got
Yes.
the ICE crackdown on immigration. He's trying to clean up all the.
Exactly, the mess that Biden did. But and people have been telling me and complain about what they're doing, ICE is doing over there, and they shouldn't be doing that. It's unconstitutional. Well, the reality is, ICE only executes the laws that Congress puts in place. Period. Do they have the right to deport people? By all means, they do, because it's by statute. Congress passes the laws. If they don't like the laws, talk to your member of Congress. Hey, can you guys change the law? So to me, with the thing with ICE, people are not happy, and they have the right not to be happy because sometimes they're friends or relatives who were taken away. But if they know they're here illegally, that's part of the risk that comes with it. But to me, it's like, do not interfere in their operations, because by law they're allowed to do those things. And at the end of the day, they're human beings just like you and I. At the end of the night, they want to go back to their families. But you're around them scream at them and throwing things at them sometimes. They don't know if you're carrying a weapon, a knife, or a gun, and they have to be watching what you're doing, what they're trying to perform their operations, and it's you're just creating a more difficult environment for everybody. So
Yeah.
stay away. You can watch from afar. You can videotape all you want. That's not a problem. Don't interfere. Don't get involved. Don't try to rescue, or don't get in their faces, because that's not the way to do it. You know,
Trump wants Congress to outlaw sanctuary cities. Would you vote for that?
probably so. Yes, definitely.
What do you think about the water situation here? And
In the coastal bend,
Yeah.
there's a lot of the.
I mean, the water's drying up. No, I mean,
It is. So
what's going to happen there, bro?
there needs to be collaboration, you know, and if you don't have collaboration, a community will die quickly, because you have to start using collaborate at all levels: local, county, state, and federal. You know,
But what can be done? I mean, I would imagine desalination plants, maybe.
yes, the desalination plant is a great way to do things. But to me, why do you go to San Diego to, oh, there's a desal plant over there? Yeah, go to the experts. Go to Israel. Go to Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Where they've been doing desalination for decades.
Yeah.
They know what works, what doesn't work.
Hire them, bring them over here.
Go to the best in that area of diesel, and find the best solution for our needs. Period. But they don't do that. I don't know. You know, they keep going to San Diego, California for some reason.
And then
They
it's-
keep going to. There's one in Tampa Bay, as well. But like no,
No, you got to go with the pros.
exactly.
Yeah.
Find
I've been
the best
doing it.
solution.
I mean, you're surviving a desert.
Do exactly. You know, if you go to the country of Saudi Arabia, there's no rivers that run by it. Not a single river. Where do they get water? Where do they get fresh water?
Yeah.
They have to do that.
Yeah.
You know, they have to adapt.
Well, this water stuff's going to happen all over the world. I mean, you have like the Nile River that goes down 3 or 4 countries. The top country might just, block the water and
Egypt, Sudan,
Yeah.
and South Sudan. All of
if
that.
Egypt would put a dam and
And that's it.
there's war. And I remember seeing that back in the 80s, I was a PBS guy, right? And I was watching scientists and talk about the year 2025, and they said, well, there won't be wars for oil, there'll be wars for water.
I remember that.
Yeah.
That the Third World War would be for water.
Yeah, for water. And so I think we really need to move on that, because we've already lost our sugarcane industry here.
Yep.
Because of the water, the lack of water. And in Mexico, they owe us water, but they're going through the same situation
through the
too.
same-
So how can we go and get our water back when they don't have the water to give us, because they've got their own agriculture and they've got their own, so
Yeah.
this is something that I think is probably one of the most serious and definitely a national security issue, with the lack of water.
Definitely. And I think the federal government should step in with some quan, as the Jerry Maguire movie. Show me the quan, some money for projects like that.
Yeah. Well, you got Elon Musk over here. He might help out with some of that as well. And then there was a shrimp thing going on over here where the shrimpers were losing a lot of business because of the Mexican shrimpers that were
Crossing over, yes.
crossing over or shrimping more than they're supposed to be. Because like when you go fishing, you can only get a fish this size,
it.
and there's
Yes,
rules and
there's
regulations
rules for
on this
that.
side, and it's done in order to keep the process going and keep the population of the fish,
Yes.
abundant. And when you overdo it, it's gonna hurt.
It's gonna hurt the economy,
The economy.
and the ecosystem as well.
Yeah. So what are your thoughts on that? About
No, there should be a lot of. That's why the Coast Guard has Aerostat in Port. I think it's at the island. Aerostat is like a balloon that.
and it's watching everything. It's a
and
camera.
it is a camera, and it's watching for that purpose. I remember I was talking with Captain Gerbertson. He was the sector commander for Coast Guard in Corpus Christi. I was still with Congressman Cloud, and I put him in contact with a guy that worked for DOD He was bringing back all those aerostats from Afghanistan, and he was just trying to place them along the border, and he did in many places. I think Border Patrol has one.
Yeah, in La Jolla, I see it in La Jolla. It's like a
and then-
blimp.
Yes,
A little blimp.
blimps. Yeah, they're aerostats called. And I went to the one in Rio Grande City, more that side, when I was with Farenthold in 2012. I went to see that, and I went in and looked at the cameras, and they were looking 20 miles away, and like, what the heck? What kind of camera is this? It's impressive what they have. So they had one here. I helped him get one here in Port Isabel because he needed one. But that one got loose one time. I follow up. Captain Garvinson retired, and I followed with one of the guys from the Coast Guards this year, and I said, "Hey, well, what happened to that aerostat? Still there?" Man, that one got loose, and he flew all the way to Denton, Texas, and that's where it crashed. But they already have a new one there.
Yeah.
Because it's needed, because yes, there's a lot of fishers that come across through the ocean, and then they come and catch a lot of fish and go back, and they come across the port of entry to sell that fish into the U.S.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's something that, a lot of shrimpers lost their business and stuff like that. What do you think about the relationship between the U.S. and Mexico right now? I mean, as far as the cartels and, what Trump wants to do, and, considering them or designating them a terrorist organization or terrorists. You're from Mexico.
Yeah.
You probably lived through some of that. I don't know. I mean, was there any danger back in the day?
No,
I mean, because when you were a child in Mexico, you had the Caro Quinteros and,
that was a long time ago. And it was I think it was a different generation. I think in Tamaulipas, you had, what's his name? Juan Garcia Abrego.
Yeah.
But back in the day, they didn't bother regular folks.
No.
You don't get involved with them, and they'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
Don't get into their business. But now it's different, though. Now
What's the difference now?
Well, that now they don't care, whether you're involved or not. If they like your car, or they like your girl, they'll take it or whatever. It's just different.
Yeah.
There's
a lot more lawlessness.
Oh yes, there's no more honor in some way. But I'm glad the president did what he did. Honestly.
Yeah. I wonder how that's going to pan out.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
They can't say everything, but
No.
I mean, look at what happened with Venezuela and the drug boats and all that stuff.
Oh yes.
Man, Luis, it's awesome getting to know you.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you came and you contacted us to, because I want to interview everybody, because
Good.
I want people to see.
Yeah, they need to be informed.
Yeah.
Honestly, get informed. Can I tell you, vote for me? Yeah, I would love that. But no, you do your research. Honestly, do your research on the candidates. Look at the experience that they have. Some of them have good experience as well, but none of them have worked in Congress for 12 years, and that makes a difference. That really goes a long way. Knowing what to do, how to do it, how many staff you can have. We don't have a limited budget. We have a limited budget in Congress. So knowing all of that, it is important for people to know.
Very.
Yeah.
And like I said, I like to have, candidates on my show, because I want people to see what they're about, who they are, where they're from, and instead of just clips from who knows what Occupy Democrats on social media, stuff like that.
I'm just a regular guy, honestly. Yeah. I'm not rich. I'm not a millionaire. It seems like a race like this is geared to people that have the means to do that, because you have to take time away. And, I have a full-time job, and I cannot do anything from 8 to 5 because I'm working. So I have to do either early or after hours. And it's a challenge, man. It's a challenge. It is a challenge. I'm a regular folk that at the end of the month, I need to make sure we won't have enough money in the account. Period. And I think that's what people need to understand, that people that said, "Oh, I'm going to give up away my paycheck," like, "Oh, so you don't live like the rest of us, that we need a paycheck." It's important to empathize with regular folks who at the end of the month, they're struggling to see how are we going to provide and put a plate of food for my kids. Yeah. That's what we want at the end of the day. And one way to do it is making sure that the government stays out of our business, less taxes, because we're being taxed for programs that make no sense.
Big time.
You know, and instead of putting that money into our families.
Everywhere we go, we're taxed.
Yeah.
Anything we buy, we're taxed. Gas,
Everywhere.
gum,
Mhm.
a car, a hotel.
Yeah, school taxes.
Yeah, school
You know,
taxes,
I don't
property
have-
taxes.
I don't have kids in school. We homeschool. Yet I'm paying
Yeah.
school taxes,
Yep.
and I don't use any of the facilities.
Yeah. Wow. electluis.com. Make sure to go to his website, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, there's a little tab up there that says contact us, and just contact them if you have any questions. Do you have any type of events going on where people can go see you in person and get to shake your hand and meet you?
We just had one on Wednesday in Corpus. I know I'll be having one more. We're finalizing those details in Corpus as well. And I've been talking with some friends in Brownsville who, people I know, that people I work for, they want to do something as well. So that's still in the works. Hopefully in the coming weeks, because I don't have a lot of time left.
Yeah.
In
the
this race,
17th, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
of February. 17 days. It's 17 days, so less than 17 days, because we've got the early voting, and the best time to vote is when it's early voting, and then March 3rd will be the election, and it's a primary election. It's not the general election. This is to decide which Republican candidate you want to run against the Democrat incumbent. Yeah, Vicente Gonzalez. So make sure to go to his website. Once again, let's show it again, electluis.com. A life of service, guided by faith. You've got to know him here. He's talked to us a little bit. There's a picture of his beautiful family. And I just think that you're an awesome person, Luis, and very goal-oriented, and you knew what you wanted, and you went and got it.
I'm a humble guy, and that's, my faith leads me to serve with compassion, and the Constitution asks me to serve with constraint. So we need to be careful how we execute our laws, and be compassionate at the same time.
Yeah.
All
right. Luis Buentello, ladies and gentlemen, running for District 34 Congress here in Texas. And make sure to go to his website. And that's where you find out everything. And then you can follow him on social media. Ladies and gentlemen, you can also call him. He's got a campaign number. Just dial the number that's right here at the bottom of your screen. And you'll be able to contact them right away. And then if you need anything from them or have any questions for Luis, just go ahead and give him a call.
Answer the phone.
Yeah, answer the phone or text him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Luis, for coming by.
Thank you for inviting me. This is great time.
Yeah,
visiting
no,
with you.
I had an awesome time getting to know you as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully this won't be the last time.
No, if I get elected, bring me back. Honestly, I would love to be here.
Orale, that'll be awesome.
Yeah,
all right. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow night, Wednesday night. We're going to have hashtag PVT live like we usually do, but this has been a special hashtag PVT for you to get to know the candidate, District 34, Luis Buentello. You'll have a good evening. Asústame one time.